Okay. Hey everybody! If you join in, I'm really happy. And yeah, this live stream, I hope the sound is okay. I will open the chat up here. Let me see. Now, okay. Can you hear me, guys? Like, or girls? If you're in the chat, write something so I can know that it's working actually. Would be cool. And I hope you don't hear the AC in the background. Yes, perfect. Great. Just give it a few seconds. If you have any questions, drop them now. I'm just waiting a little bit for people to drop in. So if you have any questions, ask me anything. Focus. Where is it? Don't focus the microphone. Here. Loud and clear. Perfect. Houston, we are coming. I hope the sounds of the camera are not too loud then, but we will see. Okay. I hope some of you saw the last video. Thanks. It's like two DSLRs. One is here. That's the Sony A7R III. This one here. Yes. And above, if I switch the scene, let's give it a little try to switch it. Let's go top view. We'll change it a little bit. And then we should have the top view from above. I hope that works. There's some nice transition. Yeah, let's see. So that's the top view for RB. I think that looks pretty good. Then we can go back to our main stream. Perfect. So, yeah. If some of you want to join in, I'm in the Discord. That's why I have the headset on. So if somebody wants to jump into the chat and talk with me, feel free to jump into Discord. If your sound is horrible, I will mute you. Easy as that. But yeah, you can join the live stream. But it's limited to 5 people, so I don't get it too crowded in there. But what's actually the streaming topic today? I want to talk about the Jolly Lux camera, this one here. So the last video you saw, I wasn't talking too good about that camera because it actually is a piece of cardboard and not really well manufactured. Let me just open that thing. So in that little box there comes the Jolly Lux camera and a few other things that I can't get out. Like this. So you get a little nice helping sheet that should help you work with the camera, but fuck that. Sorry, bad language. Hey Squishy. And then you have the nice straws here that you need for focusing, which is completely ridiculous because who like, come on. Okay, so I opened that camera up, which is like that little knob on the top here, this one, that you need to press in really hard, then you can open it. Then you have these two little tiny things here, these cords that like should hold that in place. Everything is glued together, like you have to kind of pull it out and lock it into place while it snaps back like this. Which is also stupid. Then you pull it forward and it snaps back. And then you should put that straw on top to put the focusing distance. Also, like one of the nicest failures in my opinion is if you charge the camera like this, you just saw that opening there. So wait, I just go like, so we are shooting on f16 and we just want to take a picture, so just release it. But as soon as I charge the camera again, what happens is it's completely open here. So as soon as I lock it into place, I already exposed the image that's in the film. And like, so you always need to cover the lens, like to cover that thing, and yeah, this here, and it's like just take this, don't use it. But the nice thing is in that back of the camera, So, which is also like to open with these stupid buttons. That was like the processing unit that was in here, and that was made of plastic and worked. Hey, yeah, it works now. OBS or like two Elgatos and OBS don't work too well. It's the problem. That's also why I can't have like top view and front view at the same time. So I'm sorry, that was actually the plan, to have like two cameras side by side. But Elgato doesn't allow me to do that. Somehow it glitches out if I activate both at the same time. And yeah, so in here there was the processing unit, which is pretty easy to disassemble. You just unscrew this little thing here, which you need to pull out the film, and then you can just take out that part, which is the heart of the thing. So let me just... So that's the heart of the Jolly Lux camera. It's pretty simple construction. There's the metal rollers, and you plug in this here on the side. Then you can turn it, yeah, like this, to throw out the film. I think I'm... Is it working now? Oh, no. Okay, somehow you turn it and nobody saw something. Nobody. Yeah. Stuff dropping, yeah. But my actual plan was, since I saw that thing and I was like, okay, it's not too deep in the front here. And you can see there's a little bit of a gap. There's a little border here to the film. So I thought the format is actually pretty perfect, and yeah, the format is perfect for the RB67, which we have standing here. It's a good fit, and I thought, well, give it a try. Let's build a prototype for it. So I started out by drawing some sketches in Fusion and illustrating all the stuff. And it's a lot of work, and we just started off with these pieces here, and you see the process from going bigger. Don't worry if they're white parts. Yes, I know they're not light tight, but they actually are really helpful. Just a prototype, because it's the cheapest material I have lying around. But what was the main purpose here? Like, or what did I need to look at the camera? And if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. I'm really happy to answer stuff now. I'm just showing off what has been done last week, what I have been doing or up to. Yeah, just put that in there. Who needs paper straws? Free giveaway? Anybody? Stupid stuff. Let's switch to the main camera so you can see. Okay, so let's talk about this big baby here. Whoa, everything is wobbling as soon as I put it up. Amazing camera, but also pretty massive and huge and heavy. But the good thing is, we were looking at the back, and the back of the RB60, so the back of the RB67 is easy to disassemble. You have a little switch on the bottom here. This one here, and you can just release that, and you're able to take off the back part of the camera. So that's the film cassette of an RB67, and the most important parts here are these 4 screws that you can see on the side. They are locked. Hey Kevlar, nice to see ya. They hold or they connect actually the back to the camera. So there is a locking mechanism when you look into the camera. So we look in the back, you can see these little slides here. These, as soon as I open that switch, they move up, and then as soon as I close it, they lock down. So that's the locking mechanism which holds the back of the RB67 in place. Then the next important thing is the dark slide. It's that metal here that actually covers our film layer. that's easy to remove here and to put back in. And below that is the film layer, which is important for us to measure. So we needed to know where actually the film layer is in distance to the camera back. So, oops, this one is important distance to measure. That's all things I did the last week, constructing or like reconstructing that part here. First part was this here. This is the first prototype, printed in this neon color, and it already worked pretty well. It fit the camera to see, like that's the camera, and let's open it up and go to top view. It's easier. So top view, and you could just like put that in place, but it didn't wobble in, and I was looking, didn't know why, and it was actually because of these borders here. So then we continued with prototype number 2 of the frame. It's this one here. It's a little bit smaller on the edges here, and this one actually locked already into place. Sits there, sits tight and flush, but there was one problem. If I had it down like this, the prism was actually locking down here. So I changed that part too. That's gone. And then we head on to the white one here, which is already pretty good, and a few other ones. So this one was the last one to test. It's actually already fits perfectly onto that film. Prism closes and it holds in place. It just needs the screws. The problem was here I misaligned the screws on the front, so I fixed that. And this is the latest piece I printed. I was trying to print one today actually, but my printer completely messed up. 3D printing is not a real sophisticated process in my opinion, and I don't know if you can see, but that thing is actually, you see, is it focusing? Yeah, it's really rough and everything, so I was trying to print on a more detailed level and the printer didn't do so well, so yeah. Have fun working. Yeah, so the printer didn't work out too well, but this one worked out actually pretty good. And to show you, we will put that one first. We take our Jolly Looks camera holder, and this one actually fits back here into our little holder, and it's really tight, which is good if you want light tightness, but it's also really tricky to place it. So let me just, I hope that's not too loud on stream. So it's in place and works out pretty well. So there's a few things I had to keep in mind is the levels here, when they are not really, as you see, they are not parallel. This one is tilted, they are both tilted, so we had to construct a little angle here. And this one fits perfect and would be cool. I can actually put it on the camera now, hold it down because it's still a little tight, and it locks into place. And we have our camera back. It's holding in place and it's there already. So if we go on T on the camera, I think we are. You can see the lens is open and it would expose the image already. So the back is here. There are a few more things to do with that. First off, if we would have the back like this and do nothing, the image would be immediately exposed as soon as we take it off the camera or do something. So we need a dark slide. For now, I sourced the dark slide of an old film holder I had lying around. I have a lot of them, but since I want to make that accessible for everybody else, I was looking for steel sellers in Vienna that sell 0.8mm strong steel, and I found some, and it's not too expensive to buy that stuff, so we will source that. And then we have the dark slide, which slides in front here. It just goes down and locks. Yeah, there's You see, 3D printing is a really sophisticated process in making little plastic wires. No, you sold your RB? Oh, you have Hasselblad. Okay, I don't have a Hasselblad right here, but I really want to adapt that for Hasselblad. But the problem is the Hasselblad won't cover all the image size, since it's 6x6, and the Instax Mini is... How big is it? Wait, I think it's a little bit taller. Let me just measure. Well, it's 61 by something, so it would, you just would lose a little bit. Could work. Just need to figure out, I know the Hasselblad is a lot tighter from the back layer to the film layer, so there's not a lot of gambling. So I don't know if we would need to cut a lot of the material away from the processing unit of the Charlie Lux camera. Maybe the Diana F of Loma would be a better fit for the Hasselblad then later on this year. Hope that it comes out this year. So yeah, that's the dark slide. What I'm missing now is the two parts that will come on top here. So the next two pieces that will come in place will be, lock it down, okay, will be a back cover that needs to cover the top here, so there's no light coming in here, and just surround this one here, and then we need a little lid. Hey Revolt, I see ya. Wait a second. Yes, I'm here. Live stream, okay. So if somebody wants, I'm still in live stream. Which installs where? Max, which one are you talking about? Don't know. Actually, the plans for the back will come online, CC0, so free to use for everybody. I'm really happy if somebody tips me, but you can just order it online at some 3D printing studio and get it yourself. That's the main plan. I don't know if I will be producing the back, since that involves communicating with Charlie Lux, and I don't know how they are. After I uploaded the video, I got some comments below from people from Kickstarter, which is like, I'm really sorry to hear that, and I didn't do my research really well, and I'm sorry to do that, or like to mess up with that. But a lot of people were saying only 10% of the like Kickstarter pledgers got their fun, like the Charlie Lux camera, and it's completely messed up, and they produced in China, and there's a lot of failures. So I kind of don't know how Vince, the guy who gave me this one, was able to give me that, and he says he's selling them now, and I like, how are they selling the back if they don't even like give all their pledgers the backs? That's like something I really hate in a company. I know I'm kind of making advertising for them by doing the video and changing the back now, but I actually want to give option to the people who pledged it, and the camera is crap in my opinion. It is like, this, okay. Oh yeah, Max, I'm actually really tempted to do a square back, but I don't want to use the instant square. I kind of want to use the SQ6, but I'm waiting for the Diana, because it's way more plastic and basic in use. Why is whoa? Because I throw that thing away. That's like worth nothing in my opinion, that cardboard, because it's doing nothing. The only thing you can do with that is like build a fixed pinhole camera out of it. Not even that. I mean, come on. Their shutter is a damn rubber band, which is like, if you pull it, so this one here, this rubber band, that's the one that releases that trigger. Like, it's like, come on, like after 2 weeks of some use, it will be broken. So I really can't recommend that camera to anybody, just for that little piece in the middle, like the processing hard, because that's actually pretty simple and basic and doesn't and manual. Yeah. So that's the main goal, to use that that back for different project purposes and ideas. So I think in like next 2 weeks it should be finished with the back for the RB67, and then we're gonna head out and do some photography with it. I love how it worked out. I still need to do some prototyping and change some stuff, and hope my printer works well next time. So let's see. Let me just read the chat. Are you SQ6? Are they already sold now? I think they're brand new, so I don't think there will be too much on eBay right now. Yeah, like that's the goal. So I think you will get Jolly Luke's camera pretty cheap. Somebody bought it and like just want to get rid of it, or I don't know what they do. You and your Type 100 cameras. Just wait what Doc does. I don't know if that like okay. Any questions to save pack film or any ideas? Save pack film is a nice idea of Doc, okay? And I really support that project because I love Type 100 film. It's my most favorite film, and the most favorite format I ever used. But it's a project of Doc, and I don't know where the pricing will be. I don't think it will be below 30 euros a pack. Can't imagine actually, because they are rebuilding the machines and everything, so the price will be pretty hefty. I will have a talk with Uwe, which is one of the guys working at the project, in the next weeks. Hope so. Actually, he should be calling me this week, and let's see how they work out. And I think the project starts in, when is the Kickstarter? September. Kickstarter starts. Let's see how much funding they get. After seeing what happened with Neo 55, I'm kinda worried it doesn't work out. But also, on the other hand, Polaroid is really pushing it at the moment, or like the community is getting bigger and bigger. So why not? Yeah, I hope it works out for myself, kinda, and we'll see. I will document all that process, and we can continue then. Give me a second. Okay. So, back in business. Chris, yeah, it would be possible, but I'm at the moment I'm struggling to find the materials, the right ones, and that needs to be something injection molded, not 3D printed, really, because there's a lot of forces and you need the springs and everything. So at the moment, I'm trying to use already existing parts to build processing units. So you could use the SQ6, for example. You could use the one step 2, stuff like that, and take that apart and use it for backs. That's the one thing. I think PO is not working on a new camera right now, or like not too strong, since they have their one step 2 right now, and since their first camera wasn't the biggest successor, let's say like this. But yeah, I'm still working on that 4x5 sliding back for integral film, for Polaroid 600 film, which is okay, but I used the Super Sense pinhole for prototyping, and the one step 2 is a little bit different in the building process, so I need to change a lot of the drawings, and I need to get it a little bit better. So let's see how that works out. But yeah, so this is the one project, the SQ6 pack, and what we are also working on is well, it's PO. They're consumer based. They don't care about updates. They just want to sell new products. So. Yeah, maybe they do some one step 2 with more features, but yeah. Hey Thomas, What do you mean reproduction? That they like just of the film, or? And nice that you drop in. Love your work, actually. So if you don't know Thomas' side, he just wrote something in the chat. Check him out. He like really great stuff. Need to see that. And follow him. Instagram, anywhere, everywhere. I don't know if they haven't produced a lot in the last time. I still have some original, like from the Pioneer packs from the 100 they sold. I still have some of them in the downstairs in the archive. But I have to ask them, actually. My contacts to PO are really bad at the moment. It was way better when they were still in Vienna and I knew all the people, but since complete staff changed, kinda, it's hard. Yeah. The problem is, like, when they produce 8x10, they need to stop the whole process, and because there's so much manual, like manpower required to do it. It's a lot of manual filling of the pots. There's like these red wires that are in the pots that all need to be handmade. So it's not really their main goal to do it, and they don't care as much about 8x10 photographers anymore, sadly. Which is like, because 8x10 film is just super cool. That up there, like, okay, you can see it. It's up there. This one. Yeah. You really think PO can redesign the S670, one of the greatest technical cameras I've ever seen? And using PO will be able to do something like that? No chance at all. Like, zero. They have a bunch of technicians, but no chance they managed to reproduce the S670 or something like that. Yeah, something I got from a friend, which is broken. It's this one here. And yeah, this one will be a next project. We're gonna build a Copal lens into that camera so we get better image quality. So most of the projects at the moment are getting better quality out of the stuff we have, because I don't know why all the stuff is just consumer based. There's a lot of artists or like more advanced photographers that want to have the freedom of manual shooting, of manual control of the camera and everything. Yeah, like SLR from PO would be amazing. Most like failed camera ever, I guess. Oh, so let me see. Can I show that like this? That package arrived from a nice guy in the chat. That's actually Open S670, and that will be the next live stream in 2 weeks, I hope, if you have time. Let's see if we can manage that. And I don't know if that was in the first or the second one. But yeah, that's what we are gonna look in the next live stream. Open S670 assembly. And I'm really looking forward to that. Even if I need to destroy my best camera for that, okay? I don't hold you responsible. I do that stuff anyways. But thank you so much for sending it over, the Open S670 here. And we're gonna desolder a camera and solder that in. And if you don't know what Open S670 is, take a look at the project. It's really cool. He made his own PCB for the S670. It's kind of like the Mint camera, the 670S. And you have manual control over your camera. You can do so much things then, and it's just amazing. You have PC sync, and I'm currently working on a little part to use in the camera that you can set aperture, and so that you can change the aperture and the focusing distance by itself. Oh, okay. Let me just follow up on the chat. For the Spectra, they don't do it. If you watched Kaigo's video, it's linked somewhere in the Discord server. They have problems producing it at the moment with the film throw. The films get stuck, so they are completely stopped the production at the moment with the Spectra film. Also, the Spectra film is the one with the lowest income generating, so that's why they don't put too much effort into that, to be honest. As the 600 is the major seller. It's the mainstream film. It's just like, yeah, it's the sellout film, and it's a good film because it's ISO 600, which is amazing. And if you have an SLR 600 or a 680 or 690, you're just lucky to use 600 film. But yeah, these are like, that's their main goal. And yeah, S670, the special edition is just for 600 because that's their key target audience. Yeah. Thomas, you have to build one yourself. If you have, like, you need, give me a second. Oops. You see, that's the S670 drawer back there. Yeah, that's my lovely baby, as some of you saw already, the red one. And I have to desolder it because it's the Alpha 1, and that's the one I was told to be good to use with the Open S670. So this one is gonna be disassembled and gonna be an addition to it. Let's see. Let me just grab something to drink. If you have any questions, just drop them in chat. And if somebody wants to join into Discord, I'm in the channel live stream. If somebody wants to talk, that's why I have the headset on. Otherwise, I just can put it off. Thomas, I'm sure if it works out, I can do one for you. If you have an alpha, just like, if mine works out, wait if I manage to really do that. My soldering skills are still pretty bad, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, so what we're gonna do then is take apart the front part here, this here, and below that there's the current PCB, and that needs to be desoldered. And then we use this one here, which is the Pathfinder. Marco. Hey Robot. I hope the other people can hear you, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah. And here is the PCB in here. If I can get it out. Let's see, top view. So that's the PCB here. And that one will be changed. And it's really great work. Hope that works out. Hey Revolt, any questions, any ideas, what to do? Any suggestions?
I wish I knew much about the instant world. Even though
Yeah.
you.
The instant word is magic, because it's magic.
Oh.
Confusion sometimes. No, they won't bring down 600 film prices because the production of the 600 film, like, it's valued at, I think, around 10 to 11 euros already production cost. So that's why they won't bring it down. The revenue would be too small. I'm trying to do that every other Thursday, like every second week. I try to do the live streams, and every other week then I'm trying to publish the video. So that's the current plan. So I have a little bit more time for the projects. Since the live stream is not too much work, I just sit here, talk with you guys, and the videos are always so much like production time and thinking, and
Yeah.
I really didn't manage out to do that like on a weekly base. Like, I'm currently also really really busy at work. Like, we have a ton of projects this year, and I also need to do that, and I don't get out of the office every day too early. I need to do some stuff. Yeah, the I-Type adapter, I think that's one project we should actually do with a S670, to just like mount a battery pack on the bottom that's chargeable, and we can use I-Type film then with it. I'm also looking at the capacitor change of a SX70. I haven't done that, I just read about it. I ordered a few different capacitors because I read that the different versions of the SX70 also use different capacitors, so we will see. But what that actually does is it unsolder a capacitor on the PCB of the SX70 of the original one, add a new one that's a little bit, or not as strong, so it's more light sensitive, the light meter then, and then you can shoot 600 film in your SX70, which is really cool. You have a tutorial on changing the capacitor. Impossible Instant Lab would work on the RB67. That would be an option, actually. Can you link the PDF, or could you send me the link in Discord? Be amazing. So I'm not effing everything up, as always.
Yeah, enough. I mean, F everything up.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I actually broke an SX70 last time by doing something stupid, but I don't want to do that too often.
I hear you.
Oh, Instax White for the Fuji G690. Let me just look up the G690. I don't really know how it's built. Let's see.
I can. It's in like a rangefinder.
It's a rangefinder, yeah.
Like, yeah.
But the problem is, where would you put the processing part of the film? That's the kind of my thinking. How to add that? So if you take the G690, you would need some kind of mechanism that flips back like you shoot the film, and then you would need to push it back like to this, and then eject the film, because otherwise you can't eject it on top, or bottom would be possible. But since the Instax is on top, yeah, it would be an idea. Yeah, that's the thing on the focal plane. PO will stay in business. They're writing black numbers at the moment. They will stay in business. They will run. Don't worry. PO had like a hard start, but I don't see them running out of business soon. They're getting better and better. Polaroid is taking off. I just don't know how Fuji and PO will continue in the future, how their game will be playing out with this lawsuit about the square film. I don't know if that's actually over already. Real people are talking in your back. Ah, Buke, you're here. And
hey, Marco.
And go, hey.
Oh, my name is not explained Boeke, but Bouke.
Bouke, okay. Netherlandians.
Yeah.
Instant Magnite. Is the Instant Magnite, was that like 35mm back for the Nikon that goes on the bottom? Was that project? I think that was that crazy thing on Kickstarter, right? Let me just Magni. Oh yeah, that I don't like that project. don't really like it. I'm not shooting a 35mm camera to shoot on instant film, especially because the lenses are not made for that format, so I don't like that too much. But yeah, somebody had the idea, or like copied the idea from the old f2 adapter that existed and tried to reproduce it to a new part. It's like you have your camera that you use, and then on the bottom you have like this huge chunk of processing unit on a 35mm camera. It's like, why not build a just regular camera with it? I mean, yes, like also you also need to change a lot on your camera actually to work with that. So. You think 35 film developing 35mm film is expensive? I mean, black and white you can do at home. It's not too expensive, and it depends on the format.
Yeah.
I mean, is the F2 adapter like any different to the one they produce now? No, or I still find the tripod mount strange on the bottom or in front. Well, if you watched the video I did on the covering, I had my opinion. The last films they actually managed to. You don't need the frog tongue anymore. So like, they are really working out with the light covering layer. That's the blue layer when a film comes out. That's the blue you see is actually just there to cover the image from being exposed to light when it comes out. And if you look close, the image is already developed, and it only takes so long to clear that blue layer of the covering. That's why it takes so long to have a picture. Yeah. Both of the ideas are not ideas I support. I'm not shooting 35mm cameras with a... Yeah. Has anybody of you tried that monobath from Cinestill? Would really like. I really want to try that. I have to write them if they can send me one sample. Since we're still in instant film, and I kind of want to shoot film. It's like
Yeah.
I need to change it up a little bit and add some more content that's not instant based. I know I'm now like the person to say to go to instant, but I don't want to be in that niche like too much. It's about analog things actually. I was also thinking about, I have a few friends that do other stuff, not photography, but also analog, like Lucas, good friend of mine. He's doing vinyl cutting, and I was thinking about doing a video about him. It's like really interesting how he cuts old vinyls by himself, like by hand. It's really cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I kind of want to make a series like with other analog processes and show them off.
Well, if you want to, I'm kind of active with like analog music, as in music cassettes. So
okay, yeah, see, new stuff.
yeah, I mean, I actually managed before I moved. I managed to make my own mixtape from my laptop to my cassette.
I see. Yeah, that's something like I have to talk with Lucas. He's also like this analog specialist in audio when it comes, and
cool.
I have a few people in my friendship like that are also a lot into music and have like a whole analog recording studio. So maybe that's also interesting how they work.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, let's see. But that's then going too much in music. I just want to make like little brief overviews of that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so much stuff to read. Let me catch up. Let me catch up. Where's my mouse? I need super chat. No. Oh, the monobath from Film Photography Project. Is it the one with the super ammoniac thingy that you can't do in any building you want to live in? Yes, I know you want your 4x5, but 4x5 is so simple. It's easy. Where's my 4x5 camera? Or where's one of my 4x5 cameras? So. That's 4x5 photography, okay? You have a ground glass, then there would be a bellow right here, there would be another standard with a lens, and then you can move that part around like you want, this one, and then you can move that part around, you can tilt them, shift them, and then you can shoot. That's 4x5. And you get nice little gimmicks. to 4x5 photography like this. About pack film discontinued, I was kind of crying when Fuji said they're not doing that anymore, and I didn't have a lot of money on the side, so actually I don't even have FP100C in my fridge. Nope, no FP101C for me. I still have a lot of 669, 667, and what else do I have? 664. So for the people that don't know the film numbers, 667 is black and white, high ISO. 664 is black and white, low ISO. 669 is the basic Polaroid color film, which looks really amazing when it's expired because it gets that bluish layers on top. I have some 667. I have, I think, 2 packs of chocolate. One. And yeah, the favorite film I haven't used is not Type 100. Yeah. You can lift 669, yeah. Works fine, really good. And it stretches a lot. It's like it gets like 30 to 40% bigger when you lift it. But you need boiling hot water to do it. You could also like lift a 20 by 24. There's people that have done it, like I think you can Google it. I don't know the name of it, but somebody lifted a 20 by 24 inch Polaroid. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, how the fuck did you do it? I have no clue. I really no idea how he did it. It's so massive. So yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't even know how to get that much water in one.
Yeah,
Polaroid.
Yeah, you need a massive tank for it. It needs to be boiling hot since the 669 is only going in boiling hot water. And yeah, something special built, but that was like 20 years ago when there was still money for the art projects like that. Yeah, but really cool project. You have to find the images. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. Exactly. Jack Perno did that. There's also a video if you Google it. Yeah, kiddie pool would be a good idea. But I think he used a developer tray, a big one. There's like really big ones.
Hello, Marco. I've got one question. So I'm going to Norway in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, if the Northern Light is there, I really want to try to capture.
It's long time exposure, right?
Yeah.
Do you want which camera do you want to use, the 600 or S670?
Well, I'm going to take my 600 because I don't have an SX70 with a tripod mount. But also, is it even possible to capture the Northern Lights with a Polaroid?
Let me see. The problem is they are moving.
Yeah.
And I think you won't be able to capture that because the movement is too fast for the Polaroid. Like you need so much light. You need static objects, so I don't think you will be able to capture Northern Lights.
Ah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
But always worth a try.
Yeah. Oh, Thomas, yeah, I have the same problem. Most of them are dying for me too at the moment, so I really need to shoot them. Which problem do you mean? Working around which problem? Oh yeah, and the glass technique for lift, I as I said in the video, I know it works. I know some people that do it. I hate it. I can't work with that. Like as you see, when I work out of the water with the paper, I'm really fast, and I know how to deal with the lifts since I did a lot of 8x10s, and they are so fragile. I don't know if Thomas did 8x10 lifts. I can't remember if I saw some of you, but I'm pretty sure he tried it. And they are super fragile on like if you don't have the gelatin layer in it, they are like, oh fuck. No, have no solution for that. They just break because the chemistry is stuck. Really? How? How would you solve that? You would need to change all the paper bindings between the film sheets. Hey Jahan, nice to see you. Say hi to Jahan, everybody.
Oh, my dude.
Hi, Jan.
Jahan, do you develop?
That explains a lot.
So if you don't know Jahan's stuff, check it out on Instagram. Do you develop? He like if you have any questions about film developing, he's the right one to ask, actually. I think that's a question for Jahan. It's not Jan, it's Jahan. Thomas, have you done 8x10 lifts? Can't remember. I need to get sponsoring from Yeti for the cups. Jahan, you're everybody's darling. I know. Oh my god, that's going the really wrong way. So guys, do you have any project ideas? I mean, Thomas, you were the really large format photographer. If you have any ideas, drop them to me. I'm really happy to work on them. I also like, I have a video in the pipeline about 8x10 processors. I have all the 3 right here with all the different trays. And we're gonna make a video about that, even if there's not a lot of film at the moment, but I think it's interesting for people that want to get into 8x10 photography, especially polarized photography. The question of the Polaroids is of the processor is really hard, and they are super expensive on eBay from time to time. And the most expensive one is actually the worst one. That's the field processor. It's pretty cool because you can take it with you and you can go wherever you want and just process your films, and it's lightweight. But the problem is, since you have to manually crank the films through the layers, the PO film is not really good with being hand cranked. You get lines on the film where you didn't have a really smooth movement. Yeah, PO is really thin, but it works. Instagram tag is analog things. Just straight up. When the website could start, yeah. Good question. Next question. Yeah, I really want to do a website, and it's kind of my job to do websites. So that's why I'm not really in the best mood to do websites when I'm done working, doing websites. Yeah, I really want to make a website. Michael, who's one of our viewers, he's really nice. He sent me 2 SX70 broken ones he had. They will be disassembled in one of the next video live streams. And I kind of like, both of them are broken, but in different ways, and I kind of want to fix them and build one working SX70 out of them.
Like a Frankenstein.
Yes, Frankenstein's monster, especially because they are black and silver. So we'll have like nice
that'll be
combination.
amazing, though.
Yeah, I mean, like if you have broken cameras, send them to me. I try to do anything with them at least.
Yeah, I just grabbed my 8mm camera again, which was broken. How can I send it to you? If, of course, the price will be too high because, hey, I don't have money.
Yeah, you give it to me when you're in Vienna next time. No problem.
Oh,
Jahan,
yeah.
So
I'll try
easy.
to go to Vienna someday.
Easy.
If my parents will allow it.
Jahan, easy problem. Yeah, okay. You hire me to do a website for analog things, and yeah, I don't know how the payment works out, but we will figure it out. Austria will love the taxes on that. Tax department is amazing. So yeah, so for all the people that have been here at the beginning, I just want to show off what we have been working on before. So some of you that haven't seen it yet can see it. That's the mess right now that's lying below us. let's put the advertising away. Let's put the lens of this one away. Let's put that one away. So what we have already for the Instax. Why is your message held, Jan? What did you write? Oh, okay. So what we already have, that's the heart of the Jolly Lux camera, a camera that's crap, and I'm really sorry for all the people on Kickstarter that pledged for the camera, and I'm so sorry that I didn't do more research on that project. But yeah, we cut out the heart of it, and I already assembled that piece here that fits on my RB67. It's easy as that. Has some M screws here on top. So M3 screws on top here that are, you can see that have that little tip, and these lock into place down here in the camera. We have a dark slide to cover our film layer, and yeah, we just need the back lid to close it. Also like one back piece here and a lid on top to close it down. Yeah, Leica M3 screws. Just cause you screw Leica M3, Jahan, I don't do that. I need more weight back here actually, otherwise it's always like falling. So let's switch back to top view. Actually, how do you like the quality of the stream? Is it okay? Is it good? Is the sound good? Is the video good? Should I change anything? Should I do anything better? How I started? Actually, I was thinking about doing a video like how I got into instant photography or why I actually do all that stuff. So just a brief history of myself, of my being and how I came to this. So I started with photography about 12 years ago, really late actually, when I was in civil service working as a paramedic. And actually as a paramedic, since I'm such a nice guy, I made so much tip from the old ladies, and I didn't do bad things. I just got a lot of tips because I'm nice. And I had enough money to buy my first SLR, which was a Nikon D70. And I started out by taking pictures of concerts, and really got into that concert photography genre and did a lot of concerts. In 2008 and 2009, every year I shot over 300 bands live. So you can imagine I have a ton of concert images, and I saw like every band I want to see that's still alive I have seen already, which is okay. But it was kind of getting boring because I was at that peak of concert photography in Austria. I was there, and like there was one time I was at a small, like not too big concert audience of 300 people or something, and I went into the into the photo pit in front of the stage, and there was actually, in a really small photo pit, there was 16 people, and kind of all of them had the same picture. And then a few weeks later I went to Novo Rock Festival, which is one of the biggest rock festivals in Austria, and I was there with a friend of mine, René Humer. He's a really good concert photographer. He does tour for the Dave Matthews Band and for a lot of big bands. He's a tour photographer, and we were there shooting Limp Bizkit, and both of us had exactly the same shot of him, like just like he was standing 2 meters right of me, and I was standing there, and we edited the picture in the completely same way, black and white, hard contrast and everything. And that was also one point where I thought, like, why should I continue doing that that stuff? Because it's not unique, it's nothing special, it's just what happens. And like there's 60 people in that photo pit at a Novo Rock Festival that all have kind of the same gear, kind of the same view, and that are kind of in the same movement and everything. So yeah, was like, yeah, okay, let's stop that. And then I started with René actually to do, like, there was one part of the concert photography, and on the other side, my ex-girlfriend was a makeup artist, and I got into portrait photography at that point, and we did a lot of beauty shots, and they really bumped me out. Like, when I was doing that, I also did a school for photography, the Praga Photo School in Austria. It's just a private school. and I did all of that, and I really got into a down phase. Like the school wasn't good for my creativity. It really held me down. All the beauty photography and retouching also made me like think everything is the same. So I was in kind of a creative like hole, and had like no ideas and everything. So I wasn't really taking pictures for half a year or something like that. And then I went to Sarah, which is was the store manager of the Impossible store in Vienna. And I was there, and I bought my first RB67, and that's when everything started. And I immediately fell in love, and all that started because I had a project idea where I wanted to have images that are not reproducible. And for me, the only two formats of photography I know that are not reproducible are Polaroids, because you can't control the chemistry, and wet plate photography, so ambrotypes, because these are really hard. So I learned both of these processes, but Polaroid way earlier. And then I did a few workshops on wet plate photography with Stefan Sappert, and I did a few pictures myself. And I love wet plate photography, but it's dangerous. People do it too easily. They don't think too much about the consequences of it. And sorry, that's what I don't like about it. But yeah, the process started then with me with Polaroid photography, and I immediately fell in love with that format. And luckily that was the time when Type 100 film was still affordable and really cheap, so I got a ton of Type 100 film, and I started shooting land cameras. Then I was thinking, okay, I want more control and everything, and I was really tempted for large format photography. And I knew Impossible was aiming to produce 8x10 film, so I found a really cheap Arca Swiss from an Austrian university, completely messed up. Like students were working with it. It was a mess, the camera. And I used that camera, like bought it for 700 euros with 3 lenses, but the lenses didn't, like only one had a shutter blade, the other 3 didn't. I have one, but it's completely broken. I need to do that stuff too. Yeah. So I bought that Arca Swiss, and the problem was the front standard was completely broken. The knobs were broken out and everything. So I was looking for 4x5 Arca Swiss to assemble to my 8x10, and I luckily found one a few weeks later, which was a 4x5. So I finally had my 8x10 camera, and then the whole thing just went crazy, and I took a lot of images. And I don't know, I made a series of musicians. In punk and hardcore genre, and I have like 200 portraits on 8x10 lifted material that are still sitting in my archive. And like, so I did a lot of that photography, and that's why I also have big knowledge. And after that, like when Doc went out of Impossible, he started Super Sense, and I also joined the Super Sense project and was kind of responsible to building up the photography unit there with Sarah. And that's when I was actually the 20x24 camera operator, which was an amazing experience to use one of these cameras and operate it. And I even flew to Qatar to shoot for Khalid, like a sheikh from Qatar, and we were shooting in the desert, like with the 20x24, which was crazy, but really cool experience. And yeah, that's all the process. And then I kind of dropped out of Super Sense, got back to my daily job, and yeah, now I'm actually here. And I kind of like, I did a few workshops in Vienna all the time, and I really like doing these workshops. It was fun and everything, but I thought, like, why not do that for a bigger audience? There's so many people like that don't know how to really treat the film, or that don't know what they actually can do with that film, like how many possibilities they have. And that's my goal, that like I actually want to get more people to be able to shoot instant photography, to understand the process a little bit better, and to get more creative with it. And that's the main goal of my channel, to bring more people to analog photography and help them be creative and experience new technologies, or new techniques, to free them a little bit. And yeah, so actually my goal for the future would be to help more people in their projects, give them ideas, give them concepts, what to do and stuff like that. It will also be like, I will set up a Patreon in the future, and there will be high tiers for coaching, that I coach you in photography and like creative processes and everything, and give you more help with that things. Yeah. So that was the crash course.
I'm trying to get as many friends to analog photography, or at least Polaroid photography.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely process. It's also like, just look at people when they do their like 200 selfies a day at the moment, and then they just delete everything and just take one. But if you take one Polaroid image of somebody and like show it to them, nobody's gonna throw it away, even if you look like crap. Is it like, yeah, it was a situation, I know, like I looked shitty, but yeah, it's a Polaroid. It's something that you have in your hands that's immediately there, and that's the beauty of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though a lot of my friends are a bit of like backing off because of the price, but I'm saying like, go for it, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's expensive, I know, especially if you're not like still a student or something, but like that. But you don't need to shoot tons of it. Just capture the right moments, and then you're happy. And it's like,
Yeah.
It's just about what you shoot and when you shoot it, and just the right moments, and you will get into it, and you will find out that it's not that more expensive than shooting on other films. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's the wrong motto, but it's the Kodak moment. I know it's not the right motto, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do anybody like, there was one Kickstarter project I think a year ago, which was like these really strange like 35mm looking capsules which had digital film. It was a really strange project. I just saw it. It was like digital filters that you had to put into the camera like a film. It was the strangest concept for me I've seen.
I've heard of those. It says, but in like digital, in like I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, Max, I mean, the digital cameras can be expensive, but just high-end cameras, like everybody has a camera with him. Like, I don't know where my phone is here. I know it's an expensive camera, but still everybody has one. Digital canisters, yeah, was really cool. Okay, guys, any more questions, any more ideas, anything? Otherwise I will end the stream soon and continue with the projects. Drop them now.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
For monobaths
Mm-hmm.
and for developing film,
Yeah.
using Tri-X and pushing that to its highest on my A1, my Canon A1. So I'm thinking about shooting Tri-X at like 12,800 on a monobath.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of stupid, yes, I know.
I think it should
Stupid,
work, but like you should write Jahan. He's the pro. Like, just write do you develop on Instagram. Maybe he can help you out. Otherwise, Kaigo is in Discord. You can ask him. He used the Monobath developer, so maybe he can give you insights. I haven't used it yet. I still need to write Cine still. They can send me one. Oh, Thomas, yeah, for sure. Please, if you're in Vienna, drop by in the studio. We can do a live stream together. Would be fun. We can shoot some 8x10 in my studio. Give me a second. It's beeping here. Okay, Thomas, if you're not in Discord yet, you should join the Discord. I just put the link in again. Let me copy it. No, not create channel. Create invite. Then MI2. Thanks, Thomas. I don't know which creative techniques you all use. I just know, like, I love the landscapes you shoot. They're really cool. I mean, yeah, expired film, and I love the stuff. But yeah, I love your work. It's cool. It's cool stuff. And thanks. Yeah, I hope the channel grows, and I hope to more people join in and find it useful or inspiring, something like that. It would be good. It's like why I do it. Because the money is really not good. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Gonna end the stream here. We see each other next week with the video. I have 2 videos in the pipeline. I don't know which I will upload next week. But yeah, for sure, something next week. And I see you in the live stream in 2 weeks. If you have time again, join in, drop in. If you have any questions, you're really welcome. See ya. Bye.